This is Bob Sansevier. I'm here with Pioneer Press Deputy Sports Editor John Plume. Chester Taylor's gone. They don't have him anymore to spell Adrian when he fumbles the ball or on third down. Now, you and I may not be on the same page on this one. You think, and I agree with you to a point, that they've got guys with the team that can step in and fill the role. You like Albert Young, and we've talked to you and I, but both like Percy Harvin. But I still like, for a number of reasons, going out and getting someone like LaDainian Tomlinson, because he's not as elite as he once was. Yet, what he brings to this team, he can certainly be a third down back. He can do what Chester did and spell Peterson. But if you're the Vikings, what I think they should like the best about him, he's a leader, and he would be a great influence on younger guys in that locker room.
Yeah, I think, Tomlinson, he would be an okay acquisition for this team. The issue with him is going to be, is he willing to come here and accept a backup role to Adrian Peterson?
You know what? He's not getting nobody's banging his door down to be a starter.
And will he play for, around $2.5 million a year? I don't know if he'll do that right now.
Some guys, you know what? The money is less important. Rick Alonso, beat reporter for the Vikings. Sometimes it's less important to these guys because they want that shot at that first Super Bowl. Now, I don't know LaDainian Tomlinson personally, but as I just mentioned to John, they're not lined up around the block at his house trying to get him to sign. Sometimes it takes a guy a couple of weeks to get to the realization that nobody wants you as a starter anymore, and you're only going to get a job as a backup. And if you do, well, that kind of money is going to get it done for you. That $2.5–3 million a year will get you signed as a backup. How do you see it playing out? Will they stay within, or will they go for someone like a Tomlinson? And we've talked about Westbrook in the past, but I think the concussion issue is going to scare the Vikings off of him.
Well, I think the concussion thing is scaring a lot of teams away from him. I mean, he had 2 last year, and as seriously as the league looks at that now, I mean, it's a whole different animal. But as far as Tomlinson goes, I just think that, the guy was such a workhorse for so long that. You look at just how he hit that wall last year. I mean, 3.3 yards a carry. He's clearly no longer the back that he used to be during his glory days, and he's a Hall of Fame back, no doubt about it, first ballot Hall of Famer. But you look at what he is now, and I just think that teams have to take serious pause when they consider him.
Hey, 3rd and 2, he's gotten you more than a yard. He gets that 3.3. You got first down.
Chester was only 3.6.
Not that much different in that regard. Well, it will be interesting how it plays out. And what they do, if anything, now this artist thinks they lost him. That might be somewhere where they try to find a serviceable cornerback because they do have some issues in the secondary.
I mean, don't forget, and I think the Vikings, their personnel people, have to keep this in mind. This is one of the deepest drafts in the past 10 years. If you need a running back, you can get 10 running backs in this draft. If you're looking for offensive linemen, defensive linemen, linebackers, cornerbacks, this is the draft for you.
I will agree with you what you're saying, except for this. If I'm running the Vikings, I want a veteran backing up Adrian Peterson. I want a guy I know I can depend on, that I know that he knows what to do when there's
He's on the roster.
Albert Young. Is that the guy? You're in love with Albert Young.
He's 5'10", 225. He's a big, shifty kind of running back. And again, Percy Harvin, they need to find more ways to get Harvin on the field.
I don't disagree with that at all. Now, Rick, do you see them taking Harvin out of the role he's been playing and making him more of a running back?
Well, if you want to get him in there on third down, with Chester gone, you could certainly take more advantage of Percy, on third down out of the backfield. See what he can do as a running back. That would be very intriguing. He did that. He had that role at Florida. To me, in my opinion, the more you can get that guy on the field in different ways, the more headaches it creates for defenses, the more you can, potentially break a big play. So as far as Albert Young goes, I think they feel comfortable with him if they had to turn in his direction as a third down back. He's been in the system now 2 years, going into his 3rd year. He's got quick feet. He shows some quickness there in terms of, hitting the hole hard. So we'll see what happens.
Well, Percy Harvin, though, for third down, if you're looking to throw the ball, he is terrific out of the backfield, and he can run the ball. I actually like him better as an option than Albert Young. Maybe what they should be looking at is that third receiver to go with, if Bernard Berrian is healthy, which he became later in the year, to go with him and Sidney Rice. And you do put Percy in the backfield because he absolutely needs to get the ball in his hands more. And he is their most versatile player without question.
Which is why the Vikings should have given at least a little bit of thought to a third round draft pick for Anquan Bolden. And why didn't they?
Well, I don't disagree with that either. But there'll be plenty of weeks to talk about mistakes like that. Rick, John, we'll be talking. We didn't mention Favre once. Favre.
Forget about Favre for now.
Yeah, for now.
All right.
For now.